2026, Polk County Regional Health Building, Suite A in Livingston, Texas. At this time, if you would, please mute or turn off any cell phones or other devices. And we would like to ask Michael Battenfield from Southern Baptist Church to lead us in prayer. Ballard. First, I need our prayer person. Mr. Attorney, would you like to take his spot?
So unaccustomed as I am to public speaking. Let us bow. As far as the east is from the west and the north is from the south, you love us in all places and in all circumstances, Lord. Help us this day to reflect the light of your love and grace to this your world. Use us in every way possible. Hear our prayers. You know our needs. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, do we have any informational reports? Thank you, ma'am. Okay, let's start with our comments. We'll take them in the order that they are received. Susan and John Musney about the Polk County recycling and beautification.
Hello.
Good morning.
John and I are 82 and 76, and because we care about the environment in Polk County, we have been volunteering at the recycling center since it opened, along with a lot of other people. We take our recycling and our neighbors, and we also pick up a carload of cardboard at Oasis each week. The trunk one week and the back seat the next week. If we don't have this, then the city will be doing all of that. This will go into the city trash to be picked up if recycling is eliminated. Since the building and equipment are already in use, it just seems like the smart and responsible thing to do to continue this program. We appreciate all the work by the board and Carrie and Brian to get this going. There's a lot of people here that support the DCRB, and please vote to have the county continue this program. It's the right thing to do.
One more thing I'd like to say is when this stuff starts going in the landfill, cardboard does deteriorate pretty fast. But other things, steel cans do rust, but it takes a long time. And aluminum, other sorts of metal that's going to be going in there, thousands of years to finally deteriorate. And all that does is fill the landfill up and make an unpleasant situation for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Richard Burr, same subject.
Thank you, Judge Murphy and Commissioners. In 2017, I was among a handful of people who met at the old courthouse when the county judge's office was there. There were probably a dozen of us who were interested in a recycling center. Judge Murphy was in a couple of the meetings. And it became clear at some point that she said, I think I remember this correctly, if the community wants it, then we'll try to help. But we had to take the initiative, and we did. For the next year or two, we incorporated as a nonprofit. We tried to raise some money. We looked for a site. And ultimately, we couldn't find a site, and so we came to you all in, I think, maybe 2018 or 2019. And you all agreed to build us a building, and you eventually agreed to buy most of the equipment in the building if we agreed to operate. And for the most part, we have raised the money to operate it. paying a staff person, Brian McBinch, who's done a magnificent job doing it. Raising money with various fundraisers over the course of the year and sustaining it. We've gotten to the end of that ability to do that. And we ask that you all pick up the operational piece of this to go with the investment you've already put into the building and the equipment. Just on a personal note, and I think most of the people here are here for this reason. On a personal note, since the early 90s when I lived in Houston and there was curbside pickup recycling, I've been a recycler. And when I moved away from Houston and into areas where there was no recycling center, I drove my stuff to the closest place. Before the recycling center here, I drove to Kingwood or to Lufkin. And I don't want to have to do that again. That makes no sense to, and there are thousands of people like me. We have thousands of people every week, every month bring recycling in. So you're going to force us to put more carbon dioxide into the air and spend more for this very expensive gas. And please don't do that. Help us. Thank you.
Thank you. For some clarification for the public in the court, is that was a partnership with them, and we went through the DETCOG program to get grants that would allow us to assist. Commissioner Cassidy was on that committee, and Commissioner Overstreet was on there prior to that. So that was grant funded, and we appreciate all of y'all's hard work. Linda Smith.
Hi, thank you for letting me talk. I'm with the Indian Hills subdivision, and we are trying to oppose the Texas Commission Equal Environmental Quality application for a waste treatment plant going in the very front of our subdivision. There's 300 homes in our subdivision, and we are greatly opposed to it because the effluent will be, the waste will be poured out into our little cove that is only 18 inches deep at max most of the time. And there's a lot of people out there swimming. Little babies are swimming in that effluent. It would be, and we were told in our July 7th meeting that we would not be put on it. So it's not for our benefit in our subdivision. And the road there is so congested coming into our subdivision. If we have big trucks that they are planning to put their waste into that waste treatment plant, it's not going to benefit us at all. And so we're greatly opposed to it, and we would like your help in with Texas CEQ application permit.
Can I just comment on that just a little bit?
Okay.
The court doesn't have any authority for that. You can certainly speak to your commissioner about some support or what information you might need, but anything that is TCEQ is between TCEQ, which is a state agency, or just a county agency, and TRA, which is the Trinity River Authority, and that's who agrees or disagrees to have affluent put in the lake.
We've contacted them all.
Okay.
And we have put our opposition to it. We just asked for your help in, saying that it's not a good idea to be going out where people are swimming, and now that we've got this outbreak of this parasite that is not going to, kill it by chlorine alone. We don't need it in our water. And we have droughts that we don't even have water there.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
We've seen that.
yes. So we just ask for your help, and we may be doing a letter writing because we've got 30 days. August 7th is when they'll decide.
Well, it sounds like you're on the right track to voice your opinion.
Uh-huh.
And I've already talked with them too, and I'll explain to them what I can and can't do and stuff.
Okay.
Fair
And
enough.
we have a meeting this Saturday for anybody that's interested at our Civic Club at 5 o'clock.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do we have any informational reports? I do have a question for the board. Would you like to move the discussion, which is item number 27, for recycling and beautification of the discontinuation of our recycling center operations and options for future county recycling operations? Would you all like to go ahead and move that, since hard rain is coming, and that way these people can go home if they so need to?
That would be good.
Okay. So we're taking a point of order. So we're gonna move from informational reports to number 27. Receive notice from Polk County Recycling and Beautification of their discontinuation of recycling center operations and discuss options for future county recycling operations. We were notified by PCRB that they can no longer continue under the current system of operating. Plastic collections ended. The Onalaska drop-off already ended on June 19th. And the group would like to know what the county would like to do in terms of moving forward. And we have 3 items. County takes over the operations with 1 employee. Reduced capacity or periodic collection events with no new staff, or discontinue entirely. And that is up to the board. Carrie has a presentation. I will say this, I appreciate this entire group. And Carrie and Brian have been great in providing as much assistance as possible. And it has been our pleasure to be able to assist as well and to create a new system that would help us reduce our landfill usage and definitely keep detrimental chemicals and things that have a 10,000 year half-life, right, have been recycled. Go ahead, Carrie.
Good morning, and thank you all for inviting me to speak today on behalf of Polk County Recycling and Beautification. I'm here to discuss the future of the recycling program and to request some direction from you all how you would like us to proceed. So since 2021, PCRB has diverted over 400,000 pounds of material from the landfill. We have been successful largely due to the day-to-day work of our operations director, and that has been backed by over 8,000 hours by more than 60 volunteers. We have been very fortunate to have the support of the community and this commissioner's board. Carrie, would you speak? Yes, thank you. The reality of recycling is that the revenue from material sales does not come close to the cost of running a recycling program. Over 5 years, PCRB has brought in roughly $30,000 in material sales alone against the over $200,000 in operating expenses. So that gap has been covered by grants, by donations, and fundraising events, and that is normal. It's expected reality for a community-run recycling program. It's a public service, not a business. The reason this is in front of you today is that some of our key people are making plans to relocate, and PCRB board has regretfully concluded that we can no longer keep up the recycling program past this year. We discontinued plastic collection as of last Saturday, and all other collections will wind down by September 29th. And that gives us time to sell the remaining material and clean up the center. The good news for you all is that the county already owns the building and the core equipment, the balers, the forklift, the loading dock. Those were all purchased with grant funds from DebtCog and Keep Texas Recycling. So it's not a conversation about capital investment. It's about whether the recycling program can continue and in what capacity. I've laid out 3 options in the memo that was provided to you all. Full continuation with staff, reduced footprint version, which would continue some recycling, or just winding down the program entirely. While I and many others would prefer to see the recycling program continue, I'm not here to push you towards one of those options. I'm just here to get your direction, to know what PCRB should do to move forward, to present a proposal that you will all be in support of. So what I really need from y'all today is, which direction do you want us to pursue a proposal for? And I'm happy to answer any questions while I'm here.
Well, I for one, I'm happy to meet and try to figure out a solution to it. I like it, and I think we need it, but I do not have a solution at this moment.
And I don't
have
think
time.
anybody up here wants to see it go away.
Yeah, I don't think we
You
do.
know, I mean, we want to, I'm like you, I don't know what the solution is right now.
You said about
But I'm willing to-
$70,000 difference a year.
Well, yes, sir.
Sales.
Over
No,
five- over
over
5 years.
5 years.
Oh, 5 years.
Yes.
I was thinking, that's like the lead or Yeah.
In 5 years, we've made almost about $30,000 in material sales. So yes, it doesn't cover the cost of operating the center,
And in 5 years, it's called 200.
approximately 200,000.
If I had to choose an option right now, I'd go with the at least reduce the staff to keep it on temporary. You know what I mean? Until we decide whether to either to the staff or.
Well, you need to keep in mind also, ordinance that through our environmental enforcement office, we've also done some very successful programs in terms of tire recycling or large like couches, materials that people bring in. We've also throughout the years done electronics collections. I mean, we've done a lot of things at the county level to try to assist in those things. So we do a shred day for elected officials so that we can reallocate where the paper sits and move forward as much as possible to EFACs and different programs that are successful. So what we're left with in this case is cardboard, aluminum cans, tin cans, glass, and plastics. So since we're going into the budget year, I need to know.
At a minimum, if you are going to keep the center open as it is now, it would require at least 1 employee. What department that
Full-time, you're talking about one employee.
I would recommend at least 1 full-time employee. We may still be able to have volunteers that would support if that's something that the county would allow.
We'd
Yeah.
almost have to,
Yeah,
we would have to.
I think they would be mad at us if we didn't.
Yeah, so I think if you at least had 1 full-time employee, and then it would be a matter of what department do they go in? Are they in a road and bridge department? Are they in maintenance? Are they in environmental enforcement? I'm happy to put together, a cost proposal, what that would cost. If that's something that y'all would consider.
I would sure be willing to look at it.
And I think that if you could put that cost together.
Secret. Need to do employee.
Yeah.
You need the information anyway,
Right.
No, ma'am, but I think we would all be willing to work together to do what we need to. I mean, I know I will. I mean,
Okay, at
to
this
keep it
point,
going. We'll
it's a
just table it.
notification. No, it's just a notification, so we don't have to table it. But maybe we need to appoint Commissioner Cassidy to head up our committee to look at it and review and bring something to the board for budget purposes.
Just said it did not be.
No, he will help, but you're in charge. It's in your precinct.
They'll all help you.
And Carrie, if you would, go ahead and send a budget proposal and provide all the information or what's possible.
Happy to.
I think I do think we need it.
Thank you all.
And I think Carrie will figure out a way to show us how to do it.
Well, and I do want to say to everybody else, thank you so much, because I will tell you this, when we first discussed it, one of our vendors that picks up trash, one of our trash vendors, they were asked at a meeting, what do you think the potential of this will be? And he said, not in my lifetime. And he's my age, so it happened in my lifetime. So we are happy for that, and we appreciate the partnership. It's been a wonderful partnership, and we do not need for it to go away at all. So thank you all. Okay, Commissioner Cassidy, you got that?
I got notes already.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I don't think I got you out in time to beat the rain, but any of you that would like to leave, you're more than welcome to at any time. Okay, old business, review and consider any and all necessary action regarding results for the rebid of crack fuel products as follows. We confirmed with the current bidder that he did bids for price per ton for each of the 4 precincts. And so each of you has the option to accept or rebid. Precinct 1. Yes, we'll accept. Accept, okay. Precinct 2.
That's true.
Precinct 3.
Accept.
Precinct 4.
Excel.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I'm taking that as 4 motions.
Yeah, so moved.
So moved.
Second, whatever we need to do.
Okay,
Move
new
forward.
business, your consent agenda. You have an addendum on 3 in the amount of $72,330.17. Is there anything on the agenda, the consent agenda you wish to pull? Motion to
I'll make a
approve.
second.
Commissioner Dudos, second, Commissioner Robertson. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. New business, your regular agenda, item number 16. Consider approval of personnel matters as follows. We have 1 emergency hire in HR. On A, you have the personnel action form request submitted by department heads since the last meeting and review of any authorized emergency hiring. We just had the one. All PAFs were included in your packet for your review.
So moved.
Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Dubus, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B, request for payment of vacation time accrued by jail administrator Larry Dawson. The sheriff's request included for your review. Larry Dawson has 96 hours of accrued vacation time that will expire on August 11th. They're requesting 96 hours be paid at his hourly rate of $35.63, totaling $3,420.48. We have never not paid something.
So moved.
I'll second. Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Cassidy, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item C, request from the district clerk to reclassify 1 deputy clerk to court clerk. Monica Goodson is requesting Commissioners Court's approval to reclassify 1 of the positions in her civil department to a court clerk position. Her office currently has only 1 court clerk in the civil department who is solely responsible for handling all hearings in the county court at law. And the high volume of cases that are now being heard, she believes the department needs more than 1 court clerk to manage the workload. Her office currently has vacancies, including the office manager position, so the reclassification will not put additional strain on the current budget and will have minimal impact on future budgets.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Cassidy, Commissioner Purvis, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. D, request to approve revised job descriptions submitted by the Sheriff's Office. This is in conjunction with our compensation study. We're trying to get those things that we can get changed in terms of job descriptions to be correct. So on June 23rd, the Sheriff's Office submitted updated job descriptions for 9 positions to the Human Resources Office, and those updated descriptions are included for your review. Most changes are duty detail clarifications and modernized language. However, some changes have budget and classification implication that warrant the court's specific approval. Deputy Sheriff Patrol, Class 1037, no significant changes. The duties were reorganized and expanded in detail and specifies which class the case is, but the scope and requirements remain the same. Deputy Sheriff Transport, Class 1038, primarily a duty detail expansion, more granular knowledge around change of custody, searches and inmate monitoring, adds a new requirement to participate in a rotating on-call schedule outside normal hours. Your corporal, FTO, Class 1041, has a reporting structure change, currently reports only to the chief deputy. The updated description has this position reporting to sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and chief deputy, which is a broader chain of command. It adds explicit field training to those offices and a requirement of minimum experience of 2 years of law enforcement. Corporal Jail, Class 1057. There's a minor duty detail expansion. TCEQ jail standard references with more explicit language and adds jail lieutenant to the reporting chain. Assistant to the sheriff, formerly administrative assistant, Class 1047. Title changes from administrative assistant to the sheriff. New supervisory authority, currently is non-supervisory. The updated position directs all civilian employees of the sheriff's office. It drops civil process docket management and payroll administration duties and adds formal TCOL agency administrator coordinator responsibilities and grant management duties. Experience requirement changes from secretarial experience to office management experience, which is consistent with the added supervisory scope. Captain, Class 1033, is split into 2 positions. The current captain description covers both patrol oversight and CID investigative functions in a single job. This is being split into 2 distinct positions, each with its own separate class number. Patrol Captain 1033P remains FLSA exempt, consistent with the current classification. CID Captain 1033D, which is a new position covering the investigated command functions. Then you have Lieutenant, Class 1039, split into 2 positions, reclassified to non-exempt. The current lieutenant description covers both detective lieutenant and patrol lieutenant duty variants in a single job and is classified as exempt. This is being split into 2 positions, each with its own separate class number, and both reclassified as non-exempt. The patrol lieutenant, 1039P, is non-exempt. The narcotics unit lieutenant, 1039N, is also non-exempt. And the reclassification to non-exempt reflects the working field supervisory nature of both positions and makes them overtime eligible. Okay, any questions on that? Andy's back there in the back somewhere. And let's see, Soto is who sent us a lot of these things. Do you have anything you wish to add?
Oh, man.
Okay, I need a motion to approve. All of these are reasonable. They will have budget impact and we will work through that.
So moved.
Like the month.
Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Robertson, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Ooh, that was a lot. 17, consider request for revision and amendments to the budget as follows. You have your FY 2026 budget revisions and amendments as presented by the county auditor's office. A copy of the proposed revisions number 2026-21 and amendments 2026-21A is included for your review.
So moved.
Commissioner Cassidy, Commissioner Dubus, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 18, consider approval of offers to purchase tax foreclosed properties as follows. The reference properties have been made available to the commissioner, in this case precinct 1, who will inspect the property to determine The lot is lots 125, 127, and 129 in section 1 of Hoot Owl Hollow, cause number T23-0228, located in precinct 1. Goodrich ISD has accepted their bid at the last school board meeting. What is your pleasure?
I'll make the motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Robertson, Commissioner Cassidy. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 19, consider any and all necessary action relating to expenditures for maintenance capital outlay buildings, which are budgeted funds as follows. The available balance in this line item is $121,767.88. Approval of these requested items will drop the balance. However, at this time, we have been asked to delete B. And so that only leaves us with item A, which is the roof repair at the Polk County Office Annex in the amount of $7,000 to be completed by Brazos Urethane Incorporated. Has an active roof leak. June 26th, photo report from Garland is included along with your documents. Multiple ceiling tiles, heavy water staining, a lot of things. So Garland has recommended the scope of work that addresses these issues in 4 phases. First, excising the failed patch repairs and inspecting, replacing any damp or compromised insulation beneath them. Priming and installing a torch-applied modified bitumen cap sheet over the repaired areas and expansion joints. Replacing the parapet base flashing in the identified leak zone, including new termination bar and counter flashing, and applying liquid silicone flashing with reinforcing mesh around, mechanical penetrations and pipe support. The Garland report authorizes this work under a not to exceed cap of $7,000 with any scope expansions beyond that requiring a written order. So Brazos Urethane submitted a project report, which was a proposal which was included for your review. To
So
do it
moved.
exactly.
Second.
You did come over here? No. Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Dubose, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, I need a motion to delete B.
So moved.
Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Cassidy, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 20, consider approval to advertise bid number 2026-18 for courthouse landscaping. On October 28th, 2025, the court appointed a committee, including representatives from the Piney Wood Lakes chapter of the Texas Master Naturalist, the Polk County Garden Club, and Polk County Historical Commission to develop landscape specifications for the courthouse grounds as restoration nears completion. At the court's request, the committee's approach prioritized native, low-maintenance planting in place of traditional annuals, an increasing common practice among Texas counties that has shown a measurable reduction in maintenance costs and long-term improvements to both environment value and curb appeal. The bids packets and specifications are included in your packet for your review.
So moved.
Whoa. Have to make a selection. Nicole, you wanna come on up here?
Make a selection.
Or somebody? The bid packet. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, motion to move forward.
Yes.
Second.
Purvis, Cassidy, all in favor, say aye. I do have to tell y'all that got interesting, because we did have some of them in here going, well, the maintenance department is gonna have to go around and deadhead, and I'm like, whoa. They were like, what about a water feature? No, we're trying to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, very well. 21, consider approval of order to adopt updated policy for mass gatherings and outdoor music festivals in unincorporated areas of Polk County pursuant to Chapter 751 of the Texas Health and Safety Code and Chapter 2104 of the Texas Occupation Code. Changes have been recommended to the existing mass gathering and outdoor music festival rules and regulations. The minor changes include updating the fire marshal's office contact information throughout the document and updating the reference fire code edition from 2018 to 2021. The more substantive changes strengthen the county's event preparedness requirements. the application checklist, which comes at the request of the sheriff's office and law enforcement, including our constables, was to have a required officer to attendee security ratio. And it would be 1 TCOL certified officer per 50 attendees, or a 2 per 100 ratio when at least one of the 2 officers is TCOL certified and the second is a licensed security officer, with TCOL identification required for all certified officers. The prior checklist only called for a general event security plan with no specific ratio. The checklist also now requires a traffic control plan as part of the application packet and has a new damage deposit requirement of $2,000 per 24-hour period. These additions, the security ratio, the traffic control plan, and the damage deposit better position the county to manage public safety and logistical demands of these events. We have had, that will be the same way that we currently do the Dunbar facility, where people put in a deposit. If there's no measurable damage or no huge damage, well then, and the county does not have to expend extreme efforts to clean up or repair, then they will get their money back. But we had a lot of damage to our roads, a lot of damage to our private property. We've had significant traffic control issues that occurred in some of these areas. Mostly Moscow, which is why the constable's here to defend himself.
Judges, if I may,
Yes,
what
sir.
possibilities of a cleanup deposit as well? Because our roadways, our county roads,
That $2,000 covers that.
it covers that.
Yes, sir. And if they do significant damage to private property, well, then we can also assist private property owners in filing for remuneration as
So
that.
moved.
No, I have a question.
Sure.
This is just for music festivals and stuff, cause I mean, what I'm reading here, like 50 attendees.
No, that's 50 attendees must have 1 TCOL officer per 50 attendees.
Right.
We had an event in Moscow where approximately 5,000 people showed up.
Yeah.
No traffic plan.
But no, it's not for anything with just 50 people. It's a
Well,
mass
there's a
gathering.
lot of functions for
Yeah,
50
no,
people.
it's a mass gathering. It's gotta be, I forget the number, how
There's some
many,
criteria. It's 500.
500 or more
Yes, it's
people, right?
500
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, or
And,
more,
and if there's a ratio that if X number of them are children or underage, well, then it increases the
It's a
security.
mass gathering, dude.
A mass gathering is not when you have a wedding on your property and every car parks on your property.
Well, I was just reading here where it said 50
Yeah.
attendees,
Yes.
certified officer.
Yes. No, that is not for private gatherings. That is for when all of a sudden you have these pop-up gatherings that have been happening.
Mhm.
And they charge for them. They're
And they
charging a
charge
fee.
money and they advertise in Houston and they show up in side-by-sides and all kinds of other things. But no, the 50-to-1 ratio is the officer ratio for a mass gathering.
Okay.
Not if you're having a huge Thanksgiving dinner at your house.
Let's say it would
I know.
function like that all the time. So, okay. So,
No.
okay, no problem there. Second.
Okay, Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Cassidy, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 22, consider approval of agreement between Polk County and Goodrich ISD for the assignment of a school resource officer under the direction and supervision of Constable Precinct 1. Eric McGee has drafted an agreement which was included for your review that meets the specifications previously authorized by Commissioners Court. Do we need to have any further discussion on this?
No, I mean, I make the motion.
Okay, motion
And I want
to,
to thank everybody that, as we've gone through this,
Okay.
thank everyone that's worked on it.
okay, motion to approve, Commissioner Robertson, second. Commissioner Dubose, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 23, consider any and all necessary action regarding the IAH Public Facility Corporation Board of Directors. The current members of the IAH Public Facility Corporation Board are myself, Commissioner Robertson, Terry Mayer, Byron Lyons, and Terry Williams. who's the secretary. Commissioner Robertson has resigned from her position on the board, and the board would like to recognize her service and contributions during her time in that role. But it creates a vacancy on the board. So at the meeting on June 29th, the board discussed the vacancy and agreed that Commissioner Purvis, as senior commissioner, would bring valuable experience and perspective to IH Facility Corporation. And so we request the court's approval of Commissioner Purvis's appointment to fill that vacancy.
I'll make that motion.
Go figure.
Second.
Commissioner
Thank
Pratt.
you.
You're very welcome. I will say one thing. He has been on the IEH trail longer than I was. So I kind of got baptized in fire in that. So all in favor, say aye. Okay. Discuss and take action on change order number 2 for Texas Materials on the General Land Office Community Development Block Grant Regional Mitigation Road Projects, GLO contracts, number 24-065-045-E536. That's precinct 1 and precinct 3. The work was performed by Texas Materials East Texas area under the GLO CDBG Regional Mitigation Infrastructure Plan. And it reached its contract completion on July 1st. And so now change order number 2 is included for your review.
This is a change order for Texas Materials. It's just a time extension change order. This contract, we started the notice to proceed back in November of 25 on this work. Like you stated, it's working precinct 1 and 3. Had to work through the winter, had some material delays. All y'all's roads were getting, the subgrade was getting stabilized with a mixture of lime, fly ash. Ran into material delays getting that product delivered to the sites. We've also experienced weather delays, like what we're having outside right now. And then thirdly, earlier this year, we issued a change order, giving them about $400,000 of additional work, culverts, metal beam guard fence, rock riprap, concrete head walls. So this is extending their contract to October, 29 September. So September 29th of 2026 of this year. That's still in front of, the contract between the county and GLO is the end of the calendar year, so we're still in front of that. And there's other work going on in this grant as well.
So moved.
Commissioner Purvis.
Second.
Commissioner Cassidy. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. I'll stay here for the next one.
You might as well. Number 25, discuss and take action on change orders for the General Land Office Community Development Block Grant Regional Mitigation Water Projects as follows. Change order number 2 to the GLO contract number 24-065-044-E536, modifying the scopes for Shiloh Ridge and Soda Water Supply Corporation's project. Duplachain Contractors is requesting a 45-day extension to the contract for the water plant improvements project, part of the Hurricane Harvey HUD program covering work at both Soda, WSC number 3, and Shiloh Ridge, plant number 3 also. So go ahead.
Similar situation with water plant work, waiting on materials, electrical control components, as well as weather days being added. So extending Duplachain's contract to August 15th of 2026. Which is 45 days, about a month from now.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Commissioner Robertson, second Cassidy. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Change order B Change order number 2 to GLO contract number 24-065-045-E537, modifying the scope for Damascus Striker Water Supply Corporation project. Again, duplicating contractors is requesting a 75-day extension to the construction contract for the water plant improvement project, which is part of Hurricane Harvey State Mid, covering work at both Damascus Striker WSC Plant number 2 and Plant number 3.
Same thing, no additional cost, time extension only. We're waiting on, we're at the mercy of our suppliers in getting these electrical components and things in here delivered. So, at the mercy of Mother Nature outside.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Dubus, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Here we go with more. Okay, let me just reiterate real quickly that all of these are change orders in time, but not in amount of money. The contracts remain the same. Okay, number 26, consider approval of revised resolution authorizing the submission of grant application to the Texas General Land Office Community Development and Revitalization, GLO CDR Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery for 2024 Disasters Local Communities Program, superseding the resolution that was adopted on May 12th, 2026. On May 12th, 2026, the Commissioners Court adopted a resolution authorizing submission of the county CDBG 24D LCP grant application to the General Land Office for $5 million in street improvement funding with a local cash match committed as not to exceed 5% of the total grants, which was $250,000. This is for the proposed project in Indian Springs, located in Precinct 4. GLO has requested that the match commitment be revised to remove the not to exceed and percentage-based language and instead commit a firm cash match of $250,000. All other terms of the original resolution, including the designation as this office as the county chief executive officer and authorized representative for the program, remain unchanged. So we recommend that you accept the revised resolution.
I can answer any questions if y'all have.
Yeah, Jessica's here if you have any questions.
Would change.
They just want to say not to exceed.
Right, yeah. I'm okay.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gatsby?
If I could take this moment to clarify on that.
Yes,
Speak
up or come up to the mic.
Yeah, so historically on grants, in the resolution, it would say not to exceed 5%, 10%, whatever the percentage was. And throughout the project, let's say there was a change order, let's say the project came in under, that means our cash match percentage would decrease. But now the GLO, they want to get every dollar from us. So if we submit for a $5 million project and we tell them we're gonna pay $250, even if our project comes in under budget, we're guaranteeing we have to pay that $250. So this kind of sets precedents moving forward, just so y'all know.
Thank you.
That way they can claw back everything they can. Okay, Commissioner
We deal
Cassidy.
with that every day.
Who was my second on that one? Commissioner Purvis, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we've already done number 27. So now let's talk about budget. Okay, everybody has a new budget book. We'll start right there. Okay, I'm just gonna go through some overviews real quick and then we will get into the budget book itself. Our projected property tax revenue for the general and road and bridge funds is updated to reflect an estimated 6% increase. Once the necessary data is received from the appraisal district, auditor's office, and the state comptroller's office, then we will have a complete tax rate calculation worksheet. So we can include it, incorporate our final projections. With personnel, New positions were added for the county treasurer and the precinct 3 and precinct 4 justice of the peace, along with the recommendation of reclassification from secretary to office manager in grants, contracts, and purchasing department and the social services department. Benefits and retirement. The health insurance premium updated across the departments is to reflect the TAC renewal rate approval at the court's last meeting. The county's TCDRS contribution rate was reduced to the required minimum of 12.56% while maintaining the employer match at 250%. That said, reducing the match to 200% would give the county approximately $285,000 in available wages. So that's one of the things that you all need to be able to answer for us. So these updates, the budget currently reflects a small surplus that could be applied towards pay scale adjustments. If the court's goal for this meeting should be to review the budget in detail and identify any additional expenses that could be reduced, which would increase funding available to the pay scale changes. We also have provided for you fleet analysis comparing current lease costs for county vehicles nearing lease end to the project cost of replacement vehicles, including aftermarket equipment and trade equity. So at this time, basically, we have the information for you on the vehicles. And so the green sheet tells you which vehicles, where they are, which ones need to be considered. And then the larger sheet on vehicles, and that's as good a place as any to start, also tells you what the request was. So at this time, I would like to recommend to the court and that we replace all vehicles that need to be replaced. And that I have included in my recommendation that our constables, we have 2 constables, precinct 3 and precinct 4, that need new vehicles. They are lagging behind Constable 1 and Constable 2. And so I would like to recommend that we mostly replace, but that the only new vehicles be to Constable 3 and Constable 4. We have, the sheriff is trading in several vehicles, and so those are included. So the only thing would be not having the jail add 6 more vehicles. We have a 28 passenger bus coming. Any replacements that need to be done, then I will recommend that we replace any vehicle, but that we not add new vehicles. If our goal is to get money into our employees' paycheck, well then something has to give somewhere. So that's for your information and for you to review as well. Okay, I guess one of the things that we definitely need to know is the court interested in taking the 200% match instead of the 250 match on retirement? Because that does bring in 200 on the retirement.
Okay.
Because that does bring in approximately $285,000 that could go to.
I'm not for it.
Me either.
I'm not for it.
Okay, well then, that gets taken off the board. In the past, we have gone above our renewal rate for TCDRS contributions, and that could be reduced to the required minimum. We've always gone over, which is part of what was able to get us out of trouble in terms of our health care. none of you will remember, but certainly Milt remembers, that at one time, the way that our healthcare was structured, that where if they retired from the county, then their healthcare was paid from then on. The problem was that they had it set up as a pay-as-you-go. And so then when all of a sudden you had 11 people retire in 1 year, then that fund basically went down to zero or close to. So we stabilized that, and part of how we stabilized it was going above the minimum. We're in a healthy position at this point in time, and so we probably need to consider taking our contribution rate down to the required minimum, which would be 12.56. At any point in time, that is one thing that can be changed. At any point in time, that rate can be increased. Once we commit to 12.56 for this budget year, then that doesn't mean that you have to commit to it in perpetuity. Now, we can still play with that, but that is something you need to consider. Okay, let's go to our budget. As before, we're not gonna go through the whole thing. I know all of you are staying up on Saturday night to read. Right? Okay, go to page 8. Page 8, in your budget timeline. Okay, the appraisal district had their final protest hearings last week. And so Chad Hill and his staff are moving forward with that information. We have sent out, if you look at the July timeline, he's gonna give us the certified appraisal roll. He's given us the estimate. And then he's gonna submit all of the certified information. Then the proposed budget will be filed. We've already sent out a notice of elected officials. We have not received any protests or information back. We have to publish the new revenue rate, the no new revenue rate, and the voter approval tax rates. And those will need to be published by July 28th. So I know that everybody has said that you're not interested in going over the voter approval rate. Does that still hold?
Yeah, or not, where it is.
Okay. So we need to have that. We need to get all the information out to the public by July 28th. And then on July 28th is when we will meet to discuss the tax rate. And we'll discuss the no new revenue rate or the voter approval rate, take a record vote to adopt the specified rate, and then move forward from there. Because we have to schedule public hearings, the tax rate, the proposed budget, all of those have very definite timelines. So this is not one of these things that we can look up and say, oh, never mind. You know, we changed our mind about this or that. So, if applicable, we'll do the notice of public hearing if it ends up being a tax increase, and it will be published on or before the 7th day prior to the public hearing. See what I'm talking about when we start getting these deadlines. Okay. Then in August, we're going to have to post everything at least 72 hours before the meeting. Then you have to post the notice of the public hearing at least 72 hours before. Notice to voters on tax rate. All of that has to be done. And the goal is to do all of that on August 11th and be able to present our budget and approve it, because that way, for future courts, they won't be caught in this timeline thing about voter approval, non-voter approval, tax increases, going to the voters, doing all of that. Because we know that that's always a possibility. We don't know what's going to happen further down the road. So that is our budget timeline. So August 11th, be prepared. Now, If we get some changes, then we may have to call a special meeting, which we've done in the past, but if we need to call a special meeting, then we will certainly see how these timelines work and let the court know. Okay, page 15. Your capital cost by project type. At this time, there's no change, but all of this is up for further review. We're going through and double checking ourselves in other departments, but at this time, this is pretty much our solid capital purchase requests. Most of it, 48.96% is in computers and related equipment. Now, keep in mind that that impacts every department and every elected official. It's not Casey going nuts and traveling around the world or doing stuff like that. Your next one is law enforcement for capital cost, and that is 46.32%, and then the rest, 4.72% is office furnishings and equipment. And then you have a breakdown of the specific cameras, aftermarket, vehicle equipment, that kind of stuff. Some of these things will be impacted when we do our review or by decisions that are made by the court. Okay, if you flip the page, our debt overview summary on page 16, all of those are amount of debt that is applicable to any limit. We are good with all of that. On page 17, you have our debt service. I also have this printout that y'all have seen before. Okay, your FY 2026 debt service was a little over 3 million. Your 2027 debt service that we're going to show will be reduced by about $90,000 for the debt service. So that is climbing down. If you look right below that, our total debt service payments for FY 2027 are estimated at $2,730,000, which is a decrease from the FY 2026 adopted budget. And it's primarily by the retirement of the Series 2019 tax notes. Okay, if you look at your printout that you've seen before, which is this long page. Keep it in comparison to page 17. Okay, our general obligation referendum funds, Series 2020. That is the ones that we renegotiated and we were able to get a reduced rate because our ratings had improved. So that's for the jail expansion that occurred, which was originally in 2007. An interesting note on that is that the original for the jail was 19 million. So you're looking at whole different numbers now. Okay, so if you look at the total for FY 2027, on this budget, we're going to lose the jail expansion, which is going to significantly reduce our debt obligation. So our debt obligation, if you look down here, 2027, our debt obligation is at 3 million. And in 2028, our debt obligation goes down to 1 million. I would say we've done a pretty good job. And we spoke to Standard & Poor's last week, and they will get us the results in a couple of weeks, but we do not foresee any decline in our rating at this time. Would you agree with that, Liz?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, they didn't say that they would give us a better rating. They just said that there was no concerns at that time. Okay, so the debt service. If you flip the page, page 18, you have your Series 2026 tax notes, which is what we currently have asked for. And that is in the amount of $1,650,000. And the estimated payments will be $100,000. So and the estimated interest per payment will be not quite $67,000. So that's your total debt service would be your principal and your interest. Okay, you have some refunding bonds over on page 19 at the bottom of the page. Your Series 2020. So in February of 2020, the general obligation refunding bonds in the amount of $8,340,000 were done to refund the outstanding principal balance that was left on the 2012 certificates of obligation. And so we were able to get out from under the jail facility. The original issue was for $19 million. And so these renegotiations resulted in approximately $500,000 in savings for the county's debt service. Okay, next page will be page 25. On page 25, you have your fund summaries. So at this point, we're looking at a increase in sales tax revenue. So we did put that in there. We also have an increase in fines and fees. So we put that in there, court fines and fees and forfeitures and sales tax. We took the IH revenue projection from 600,000 to 1 million, because now that the IH facility has been stabilized and the bonds have been paid off, then the administrative fee can be increased, and that goes into the general fund. So keep in mind, again, the IH can only be utilized for public facilities, but the administrative fee can be utilized in the budget. So the administrative fee goes into the budget. And then, of course, we know so we've had an increase in property taxes, but then once the final amount raised is determined, then the court can decide on what that revenue is actually going to look like. Okay, so the preliminary for FY 2027 spending plan totals $34.4 million, which is a 6.99 increase over the $32.2 million approved for 2026. So you still have a trend of rising cost following last year's 8.38 increase as the county works forward. We have a 6% revenue estimate. And so we expect to bring in approximately $34,500,000 in FY 2027, which is a 7.2 increase over 2026. So with not doing much of anything, with an increase, a revenue increase of 6.99, then 7.2, there's not enough gap. Okay, you have page 27, which gives you just the preliminary expenditure projections, and keep in mind that this still has a lot of the requests that may be removed to provide more funding. We have the jail at a little over 6 million, the sheriff's department at a little over 6 million, and then all other departments at 2.498,482, which is approximately 7% of the budget. So the lion's share, but that's not the way it always is. The lion's share always goes to the jail and the sheriff's department. If you look at the very bottom of page 27, you can see some of the smaller departments do not have as many expenditure projections. You need to keep in mind that there are some, like general operations, maintenance, IT, those services that are provided countywide. And so some of those budgets are supporting other departments, I guess, HR. Okay, next page, page 28. Expenditures by department. Most of those are pretty standard. The one that I do want to point out to you is judicial, which is the fourth from the bottom on page 28. Before Bobby left, she had requested that we allocate money to capital trial expenses, which would be in the district clerks, in the district courts. And so at that time, we allocated some money because the monies for that would be only for capital expenditures. So we plan to allocate the money once more for capital trial expenses. At this point in time, we know that the 258 has 2 murder trials, and so that would cover the district clerks, the district attorneys, any capital expenditures that go through there. We requested information, but we have not received any response from the 411th district court, so we don't know if they have some major murder trials coming at this time. But we do know that if they have a change of venue or they do anything like that, well, then they're going to have security, they're going to have jail personnel, they're going to have transport, everything that follows is going to have to follow. Okay. Any questions? Very well. We still have some things that we need to receive from aging. We went and visited with the Department of Aging again to make sure that we had some accurate information that we could include. And then we will still have to have some discussion with the sheriff. But otherwise, I think we're all good. Okay.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Not yet.
Yeah.
29. Okay, take a look at, went through the vehicles with you. I do think it is in our best interest to move forward with the new vehicle leases. If you will recall, part of the reason that we brought vehicles into the general fund was because prior to that, the sheriff's office and the jail had to basically come beg for vehicles every year because they were part of capital projections. So I would like for us to move forward and approve the new vehicle leases for 2027.
That's all of these right here.
Yes, sir. And as you know, go ahead, Carrie.
Are you gonna include all of the vehicles on that list?
Any of them that are recommended, any of the new vehicle leases that need to go forward.
We talked about doing the replacing vehicles, but not adding new vehicles.
No, we're not adding new vehicles. We're only renewing vehicle leases that we have right now. Correct? That's what we discussed. Okay. So that does not include the new vehicles at this time. The new vehicles that I am going to have in the budget that I am going to recommend will be for Constable 3 and 4. Other than that, we need to renew. Here's the thing, these are vehicles that need to be renewed. They're in the program with Enterprise.
With the lease, yeah.
Yes, just lease. They're in our lease rotation. And so they have either reached that point where they need to be changed out, but we want to make sure that our staff are always in good vehicles, right? So that they're safe. That was part of our reason for bringing this in-house, was because we had vehicles out there that were 13, 14, God knows how old. So this allows us, so this is just
To renew our lease.
renewing.
Okay, so moved.
I'll second, since we've got.
Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Robertson, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Cassidy,
Second.
Motion to adjourn.
all in favor?
11:15.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everybody.
So finish driving Kyle on Hodge Bottom. They're gonna be moving to May Drive, start working on that bridge. I talked to you a while back.
It won't be this week.
Cut trees.